Hello everyone, it's Chikuseren, and today we're gonna go back to our roots, okay? We're going back to our roots and doing another challenge video for the channel, because I know how much you've missed that. Since the last video, we've had a couple of new people, and that video got a lot more views than I am usually saying, so welcome new people. Thank you for coming to the Chikuseren channel and subscribing. And you should do that too if you're not subscribed. You should also subscribe. That's such a great idea. Anyways, so in the spirit of doing another challenge video, we're going to be doing a Pokemon Gym Leader Prompt Challenge video. That's right. So if you know me at all, a Pokemon video was going to be inevitable. I'm sorry to say. I am a Pokemon girly through and through. Yeah, I apologize in advance. So some time ago, I asked you guys to give me a theme, a gender, and a type for these potential new gym leaders, and some of y'all delivered. So thank you for your responses, and I will be picking a couple of them to do in this video today. I will also try and aim to match the Pokemon art style. I did a lot of studying beforehand, so wish me luck. Without further ado, let's go on with the video. Let's begin. Let's begin right now. Anyways, let's go ahead and get our first prompt, and Biscuit is in charge once again. So go ahead, Biscuit, give us our little prompt that we'll be using for this video. Let's get the first prompt. Come on, let's go, Biscuit. Wow, what an interesting response, Biscuit. Thank you so much, Biscuit. All right, I'm glad Biscuit is doing everything according to his job description. Hopefully he doesn't try anything later. Okay, so today we have this response, which is actually pretty interesting. A poison type apothecary themed gym leader. Yes, and the gender seems to be my choice, though it is female, so I'm gonna respect that. We're gonna make her a little girly pop, and it's very interesting because you wouldn't think that apothecaries would like poison and want to poison people. We're breaking the status quo, everybody. So let's go ahead and continue with all that in mind. Okay, so let's flesh this idea out a little bit more. I wanted to keep her like pretty low-key, like to keep her poison tendencies at bay, because she is a poison type gym leader at the end of the day. I didn't want this to be like an Apothecary Diaries OC, and while that show is amazing, and I love that show, I didn't want to lean into more of a Chinese aspect. I'm more so delving into the idea that she's just a regular apothecary, like a healer in a video game or something like that, you know? The vibe, healer vibe, potions, all that type of stuff. Now the poison aspect is a direct contrast, as the person stated, and I gave her a cute little face, honestly, and I also gave her luscious lips because she is a girl boss. All that to keep her poisonous tendencies under wraps. So at first glance, you don't know that she's like low-key crazy. I've also decided to give her various features that an apothecary would have, which is like, you know, the potions, the lotions, and all that stuff. Her cute little satchel that she got. She's holding two Pokeball like beakers. Would you call them beakers? Or like containers that have her various experimental potions in them. You know, normal apothecary stuff. She's not necessarily like a healer type, since like, you know, she's a poison gym leader and stuff. So there's that. And also she's got a little bit of a poison vibe in terms of her color scheme. Rocking like purple and green. Similar to what you would find on the character Clara. I wanted to keep it similar like that. You know, that sort of purpley, pinky vibe. Because of course, you know, you gotta know that she's a poison gym leader at first glance, right? I thought this color scheme would work wonders for her, and it kind of is. I decided to give her a little bit of a poison little motif, as she has like a poison flower type of thing going on. That was the whole vibe, you know, one of those big poison flower bulb things. Y'all know what I mean. Y'all get it. That more so stemmed into her clothing. You see like her v-neck line on the top of her dress. It's kind of like looking like a little spiky flower, you know, the venomous aspect, spiky fangs. She's a sweet, unassuming character, but when she starts talking about her, like, you know, what she's working on, she gets super passionate, and it might come off as she might be a little bit insane, but she's super cute, so like, how would you know? You would never know. That's what I think when I think of her. And speaking of thinking of her, here is Vera, the poison gym leader apothecary girly pop. She's a darling gal, you know. I think Vera is a good name for her because it kind of gives the poison vibe still, you know, rocking her color scheme, poison motif. She's got her cute little bag ready, prepared for anything and any situation. She's got a potion for you. She's got a potion for her Pokemon. And speaking of her Pokemon, in terms of like her team, I would think that she would be heavily rocking like a Vileplume. Vileplume seems like her ace. Like that seems like a good Pokemon for her. How about Toxtricity? You know, given the vibe. And pair her up with Marini. That turns into a Toxapex later on, depending on where you face her. She would definitely be one of those toxic Stoller types, because she loves that move, man. And that's quite annoying, but that's who she is. That's how I've written her in my notes, okay? But don't get on her bad side, because she will poison you. Not kidding. An unassuming girl on the outside and a toxic baddie underneath. Anyways, let's move on to the next character. That's right, we need another character for this video. So come on, Biscuit, come back and give us another prompt for another character. So come on, Biscuit.
You're just a gay boy.
What the frick, Biscuit? This isn't a question. This is from your TikTok feed. Turn it off. Cut the cameras.
Biscuit was just joking, everyone. Take your job seriously, Biscuit, and give us a real response before I fire you again. Alright, thank you. This person suggests that I make a fire-type gym leader who is also a chef. Gender is also completely up to me. Thank you guys for the freedom of choice. I will be making this a guy this time for equality. So a chef fire-type gym leader. Now, while we already kind of have something like that, I want to put my own spin on it. So let's try and create something different. So here we are on the second character. So creating this one was a little bit more difficult. Like, I wanted to do a man this time because I needed to do a man since the video couldn't just be two girlies, okay? I obviously want to challenge myself to create men, and this is it. This is the fruit of my labor. Coming up with a concept was also quite difficult in terms of the design because I didn't want this man to be bland, okay? I wanted you to know that he was going to be a gym leader, just straight up like looking at him, because usually gym leaders look a bit more special. They have a bit more of that gym leader pizzazz that the other people do not. That's how you can tell them apart. So these are the features that I've come up with. First of all, he's a chef. He's got a very unique hairstyle. His hairstyle is quite curly. You know, it curls upwards, and it does look like a fire type trainer since his hair is like, you know, it's giving fire because it's got that color scheme, the yellow and the orange. And I kind of went for the vibe that you see his little puff hat over there, his little hat. It's kind of like giving the illusion that like something's cooking. Like, you know, his hair kind of looks like fire and it's wrapping around his little hat. Sort of like if you're cooking on a gas stove and you put a pot on top of it and there's like fire underneath heating it up, you know? I wanted to sort of give that little fire type flair to this gym leader that we have here. You'll probably see the color scheme more further ahead, but I wanted to mention that now. Like, the puff hat is more so to simulate it like being cooked. He's not cooked, but his hat kind of is, you know? He's sort of like a savory cooking guy. Not your ordinary baker, not one of those sweet treat bakers. No, he makes soul food, okay? He's the savory type. He likes to grill, he likes to cook on a sear pan, and he can make you a mean steak. That's just who he is. I don't make the rules. So because he makes that soul food, I have to give my man a little bit of melanin, okay? I had to give the man melanin because we gotta rise up, rise up from the melanin, okay? Representation, y'all. He's a very respectable guy. I imagine this guy has honed his craft from a young age, watching his father because, y'all, he's not fatherless in this life. No. So he watches his father make all his dishes, and he decided, hey, I'm gonna follow in his footsteps and become the gym leader in this town, all right? And ever since, he likes making his dishes for his family, his Pokemon, his friends. He's the cook kind of guy. And everybody welcome 𝚑𝚎𝚛𝚎. That's right, his name is 𝚑𝚎𝚎. Yes, he only refers to himself as 𝚑𝚎𝚎. Yes, sounds fancier, doesn't it? And he's got fire type motifs all around him. The squiggles in his outfit, his cooking shirt, sort of simulate a grill. He's very skilled at grilling. Anyways, so yeah, that's 𝚑𝚎𝚎, and his team would mainly consist of course, fire-type Pokemon that would help him cook, you know? So how about we think Turtonator? Turtonator seems like a pretty good ace Pokemon. Very helpful. He has a similar color palette, so why not? He would also run Colossal. That's a very viable choice. Of course, cooking with gas, with coal, know that would be a wonderful help for him. And how about Armor Rouge? Because Armor Rouge is cool, so who wouldn't run an Armor Rouge when given the option, let's be honest. It seems very fitting for a gym leader who would cook your entire team. See what I did there? See what I did? And that's all the time I have for today. These two gym leaders are very well designed in my opinion. I think I pretty much nailed the Pokemon art style. Do let me know down below what ideas you think that you would have for their team, because I only mentioned 3, not 6, to not overload y'all. You're welcome. Let me know down below in the comments. And also, while you're down there, if you want to contribute to maybe a potential part 2 if this does well, leave your ideas in the comments, okay? And before I leave y'all today, I must first of all plug my shop. Yes! My shop, Chibi Mart, where you can find all types of little goodies down there. Keychains, prints, wallpapers. And speaking of wallpapers, I have this new wallpaper for the summertime. So nice. It's a desktop wallpaper, and it also has matching desktop icons and various options for you. It's only a couple bucks, so if you want to pick it up, go ahead and go in the description down below. Yes, I'm also kicking off a summer sale. Okay, go ahead and save 10% while using the code SUMMER10 when you make your purchase, and you'll save some money. We all love saving money in this economy. And yeah, be sure to keep up with me on my socials. I have a Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, as well as YouTube. Subscribe and like, comment, whatever you want, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!